Okay, so your balance assessments that you're doing today will be on comp 1. You will not have to perform them on the comp, you will have to identify them. So I will give you probably versions of the paper that you have now, and you'll have to say, this is the TUG test. The TUG test looks at gait and dynamic balance.
Is it on here?
Yes. Well, as we go through each test, we'll also
Okay.
talk about it. You will then also, as part of your comp, have to tell me what the cutoff scores for fall risk are, which we'll talk about with each test. Each test will be slightly different. So what type of balance it's measuring and the cutoff score.
So we don't have to perform them?
You don't have to perform them because as a PTA, you are not responsible for performing the assessments. It's not to say you never will though. The reason being that you cannot take, for example, if you did a tug, timed up and go with somebody, and they got 30 seconds, that puts them at a high fall risk. You could say, hey PT, I did the tug with this patient, and this was their score 30 seconds, but you could not, as a PTA, say that they're at high fall risk. That's an assessment. So the PT has to take the data and then basically put the diagnosis with it. Does that make sense? So it's not to say that you will never perform these, because oftentimes these are used as functional outcome measures on evaluation, re-evaluation, discharge. But they're also really great ways to create interventions for your patients. Because if you know that they're having trouble standing on one foot, then what are you going to have them do? Stand on one foot. Okay? So it makes sense? So you're responsible for interpreting, because you're going to get an evaluation that says tug 30 seconds. And you're going to need to know, oh, okay, I know what the tug is, and I know 30 seconds is high fall risk, even though you can't give the technical diagnosis, if you will, of high fall risk. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first test is the time to up and go, or the tug. So, standard chair, 3 meters or about 9-10 feet out. Somewhere between 9 and 10 feet. You put a cone. The nice thing about the tug is that if somebody uses an assistive device normally, you can have them use it. We're measuring dynamic balance and gait. We do not want to have if possible, we do not want to assist the patient because we then change their gait speed. But if needed, you can. You would just need to document how much assistance and what assistive device the person uses. Okay? So I would use a gait belt. So you're going to be my patient for this one. And then I'm going to throw the gait belt on you, even though I'm going to try not to assist you. You want a standard height chair, and you want that chair to be placed somewhere where they're not going to knock themselves over, or knock it over. So against the wall's a great spot, or if it's just a nice sturdy chair. All right, so I just loosened that.
You did.
I would use my phone, but since that's recording, or my watch, and I didn't wear one today. When I say go, you're going to stand up. You're going to walk as quickly as possible to the cone, go around the cone, go back, sit down. I will start my timer when you stand up. I will stop my timer when you sit down.
Am I walking?
Walking as quickly as you can.
Not running.
Not running.
Got it. I can do that.
Do you think we normally do this with somebody such as yourself?
No, like, I want the best score, you know?
Well, let's just for the sake of this video, not cover
I hate this kid.
All right, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and stand up and begin to walk.
Such a Boy Scout.
That way.
I document the time, I document if they use an assistive device and if they needed assistance. You can see here on your form, the first round here from Bohannon looks at ages. None of you fall within this age range. I also don't know why the first age is 60 to 99 and then it starts over at 60 again. That's how they reported it in that research study. But the nice thing about having norm times is you can age match them for your individuals to say they meet it or don't meet it. Just below that, less than 10 seconds, freely mobile. What do you think that means in terms of fall risk?
They're good.
Low to no fall risk. Between 10 and 20 seconds, they're at a moderate fall risk. and then over 30 seconds, or around, I guess it should be 20 seconds, just leave it as no fall risk under 10 seconds, 20 seconds may need an assist device. Really, our cutoff score is 30 seconds is high fall risk. That's really the one that we're pretty concerned about. You can also see that there's an 8-foot tug that has been developed as well. You can see various variations of the tug. The tug is used by PT a lot. It also is used by, sometimes by nursing in the home health setting because it is an assessment that's part of the OASIS, which is like the intake evaluation into home health to look at food. Okay?